Well, welcome to the Complete Nonsense Podcast. I want to pre-apologize for anything that we may say that may piss you off or offend you. If it does, please call your friends. Tell them to get on and listen to what these fucking idiots are saying. Comment, hit that subscribe. We want to hear your opinion, but not really. We need the money. Let's begin.
There it is.
Go.
We're back with another episode of Complete Nonsense.
What number are we on right now? 41?
41.
Are we 41?
We are
41.
41.
All right, so I'm gonna clear some air here. First of all,
Clear some air already off the rip.
yeah, you gotta clear the air.
All right,
you know,
yeah.
it's because it's yours.
Because you have it now?
You're
Or-
you're snuffly. Wait,
I'm not snuffly.
We gotta
Am I
make
snuffly?
sure. We gotta make sure we've checked. Now we've checked it a couple times. We can't walk over. We can't talk over each other.
You're
We're
talking
learning.
over me. I don't know.
We're getting better at it. But you. I don't want to talk over you. I'll wait. So what we have to do, I've learned, instead of the segment Dees things, because that just never evolved. It becomes what I learned about Sherpa this week. I think on the way here, you need to preempt and get yourself mentally and physically ready. I know that you'd work out and that's your mental health. But when I see you drop one of your Zons or something like that, I think you need to do that on the way over, because then you become even keel. When you're not even keel, we end up having fights about lights and cameras and fucking volume buttons. It's completely unnecessary. I mean, completely unnecessary. Yes, exactly. And with you,
I don't fight with you, Sherpa.
No, man, we're good. We're cooking.
That's a good-
AC's the problem.
That's a good button. I guess I am the problem,
Yeah.
but that's a good button right there. Yeah, so you need to preempt it on your way here. I'm going to say, hey, man, did you hit your shit yet? And then when you hit your shit, you're good. And on the God episode.
Oh, no. We're still going.
It was such a good.
He really is going to be a believer. He just can't drop it.
I can't. I'm going to be a believer?
Yeah, I think you are.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be a believer one
We
day.
should pray about it. We should both pray about it.
We can. We could do it right here. The God episode, what I wanted to say to you about it was, I almost have to, I dare say on my side, apologize a little bit, because we have the guest in, right?
Okay.
And she had questions she's gonna tear into it.
Okay.
And you and I were losing focus on the hand, and you were trying to tell me things, and I was telling you, no, bro.
Yeah, you would tell me to stop talking.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I can't talk over you if I can't talk.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he wants it where we're learning something, because we had a whole conversation about the cameras last week. So what we want to do is, instead of again cutting it all, we're gonna possibly do a wide angle. Is that true, Sherpa? Duh. The one night. This is the night. The night.
He's just on it.
Today he's on it. Okay.
I love it.
Today. Well, that's good. I'll take the buttons out.
He's gonna talk to you on buttons, and I love it.
That would be fantastic. You got it. Yeah,
great.
He's definitely gonna push some buttons tonight. That's fantastic.
That's great.
So, did anybody watch the? You almost won,
I almost won 14th to first, baby,
and then to
I
7th.
lost.
So what, you had Houston in the finals?
Duke. Yeah, Duke, and Duke lost that game. Duke stopped playing, and 10 minutes left in that game, and then Duke decided they weren't going to play.
That was kind of the rhythm of the entire
game.
Yeah. Both games.
Yeah, but that second game, both those games were very good.
They were.
They were some of the best basketball games that I've seen in years.
I was so mad.
Years. Yeah, I would.
So,
how could you not be? You were literally first the whole
locked
way.
in.
Yeah,
locked in.
And then you.
I was locked out.
Then you got locked out. Yeah. But you knew that was going to happen. Once Duke lost, there were too many people in the bracket that had Florida.
Yeah.
So the only way you could have done anything was Florida had to lose.
And Auburn, what happened with you guys? I mean,
yeah,
I have to say, you had it.
Yeah, they fell apart.
They fell apart.
They fell apart.
If they would have won, I would have definitely won.
Auburn?
Because Florida would have been out.
Yeah. Well, even if Auburn, you're talking about if they knocked out. Yeah. You definitely would have. But then Duke, there was somebody that had.
I would have ended up in second.
Yeah. There was somebody who had Houston.
The one guy had Houston. He went from 22 all the way up to first.
But then what they did was that Stacks even figured it out, was that you had to because they were trying to do total points, right? The two scores.
Right.
So there were 3 guys tied for second. And then I had said to him, because he tried to send me money for the second, right? And I said, no, that doesn't make sense because you have to go by the points. And he forgot. He said, oh yeah, shit, that's right. This guy's been running leagues and shit. He does all of them for everything. You've done the football pools with him. You've done it all with him. He put it into ESPN, and ESPN he didn't realize that they were putting in the points.
Right.
So that was your tiebreakers.
Yeah.
So that's why her son came in second.
Some huge upsets for sure.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is you don't even got to watch the whole game. Just tune in to the last minute and a half, and that's all that matters. Fuck the whole game. It doesn't matter what happens at any point in the whole game. The last minute and a half is all that matters.
Are we talking college or NBA?
March Madness, buddy.
Yeah, but
I mean, there were some good games.
Yeah,
there were some big upsets.
I agree with that in the NBA. I 100% agree with that in the NBA. But those kids, man, they play.
They play hard, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter if somebody's up by 12. It doesn't matter if somebody's up by 18. Like at the last minute and a half, it's a close game. And even if somebody won the whole game, they can lose in the last minute and a half.
Well, again, depending on how many you're up, right? You can't come back on 10 points, 12 points with the 2 minutes left. That's rough. But you
Isn't that how Duke lost? They came back by like 8 points in the last minute and a half.
They lost. They just stopped playing.
That's what they lost by. They were down by like 8 with it.
They were down.
Yeah, but they just stopped playing. Like they couldn't.
But they only had one bucket in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, it just fell apart.
They were down.
They
were up by 9.
Right.
Okay. And they were almost up by 12 with 11 minutes left. And in the last 10 minutes of the game, they literally scored 1 bucket. Yeah. And then they had their star freshman.
Cooper, what's his name? Yeah.
That's the Florida kid.
And then everybody's like, oh, he just made the worst move of his career. Not really.
Which kid?
Cooper Flagstaff, I think his name is.
Oh,
Cooper Flagstaff.
What's his name?
Cooper Flag.
That's right. That's that freshman, isn't he? A freshman?
Yeah.
Yeah. He couldn't hit it. He couldn't even at the end of it.
No,
he couldn't hit the free throws.
Yeah, he couldn't. I mean, he had and then they're like, he just total choke. But I don't think that. I mean, the guy was he was rocking it through the game, and then he just stopped. Man.
That's pretty rough to say.
He's just supposed to be a freshman in high school, so anybody saying that can go suck on his balls.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, he's really good.
He's a phenom.
Yeah.
And
but who's really good?
Who's that?
Is Clayton Jr.
Yeah, he's
from Florida. That dude. Listen, you can talk all the shit you want to talk. That dude came to play. He won the game.
He didn't score.
Yes, he did. He
did not in the championship game.
That dude stepped up. He
didn't score a bet.
Yes, he did.
I'll give you the stats.
Yeah.
In the
I watched it.
Okay, but he didn't score the first half. He didn't have one
but
bucket.
In the end, he came through.
In the end, he had 2 buckets, which were big ones.
And huge.
Don't get me wrong. They were huge buckets,
but a couple fouls.
But they played him. They played him very, very well. He did not have a bucket the entire first half.
That guy is a machine.
The second half, he's a monster. He's a first round draft pick.
Yeah.
But they played him so well. He didn't score his first 3-pointer until 8 minutes left in the game. Did you realize that? Did you see that? 8 minutes left in the
ending
game.
of the game, though, he came through with
2 buckets.
2 buckets.
Two big
but
ones.
it was crucial because he had the foul.
Oh yeah,
he had the bucket in the foul.
That was the second one. That was like his second, where his first one was a 3-pointer.
Right.
Okay, and that's when they were making their comeback because they were down by 12 too.
But
at one point they were down by 14.
In the Auburn game, he won the game for that.
Oh yeah,
he dominated that game.
Auburn was a different story. He was all over. He was all over the court. But yeah, they played a good defense on him because how could you stop a guy who was draining threes the entire tournament and then not have him score a bucket until 8 minutes left in the game? That's some great coaching. Yeah. That is he's their stud. He's their absolute stud.
He is a stud for sure.
I felt bad for that guy. What was the guy's name? Jawan, who was on Houston. He played his heart out. He was there 6 years. I don't know his last name. And he says he's like, he's crying at the podium and he's like, this is my last year wearing this jersey. Yeah. But he's going, why is he crying? He's going to be in the NBA in about 6 months. I think he's going to be signed for $5 million. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. He wanted that championship bad. What are you gonna say, Sherpa? I see him. His lips are twitching.
Nah, he should have just done a little more praying beforehand.
We're gonna bring that back. You know what I did notice about that? If you wanna bring that up for a second.
No, we don't. We don't want to go back
Not one
there.
of them.
There's got to be new stuff to talk about.
Yeah, not one of them. Not one of them at the end of the game. Maybe there was one, I think, had said that, thank God.
Yeah.
Not one of them said. One dude was like, I want to thank God. And the rest of them, I was like, oh, they heard us. They definitely heard us. Yeah, don't ever discount. This is the thing, another Sherpa moment. Every once in a while, he texts me today. He says, yo, what are we going to talk about? I don't feel like we should have to prove it to each other. If the show even if the show bombed for a day, I've seen a lot of television and movies, as I'm sure you have. I know you watch movies all the time. Yeah. They're all not home runs.
Yeah.
But with Sherpa, it's like we have to prove to him every week that your show's going to be good. He says to me, what do you got today? What are we going to do? I said, Sherpa, I don't know, bro.
Sherpa does a lot for this show. I'm gonna give him that. He does a lot for this show.
He really admires you, bro.
I do, man. He comes in here, he has to set up, and he gets us just right.
Yeah,
look at this side. Look at that side.
Yeah, yeah, we couldn't do it without him. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, he gets it in there.
And then, So, and now today, I don't know if you watch, and this is, I know all my New Yorkers are listening to me because they all tell us. I went through all those comments. You saw.
Some great comments.
I finally actually looked at them all. There were 33, and I realized that we had never responded to any of them. So I know you responded to a couple, like the old ones.
Yeah, I mean.
I didn't really understand what I see. Too bad the computer's not up, because I would love to know which one you were talking about when you said we were talking to that lady. There was that the Daisy girl who was talking about step parenting, right?
I mean, she's a top fan, whoever she is, right on.
Yeah,
Thank you for the support, whoever you are. I think you got a hat out of it, maybe. I think she might have sent you a hat, but you're cool. And especially if you don't know any of us, that's even cooler.
Yeah, that's great. And
we love the feedback.
She actually brought up, and that was a step parenting one where she's like, yeah, it's a really hard job. So I went through, there were like 33 comments. And then you saw there were a couple of them, like the last, the Sherpa shampoo one, 25.
My favorite was the ghost episode, and you posted a reel or something. Somebody commented, case study in carbon monoxide poisoning. Did you see that one?
I didn't get that.
Well, I don't know.
Did you get it?
I didn't.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it. I'm looking all the time.
Yeah, I was
wondering, a lot of them, but
is he talking about, though? He's saying he was trying to say that I had carbon monoxide poisoning because I was seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was. Then
did you comment back to that one?
I did. Yeah, I was.
What'd you say?
I said probably like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that, okay, so comment. Oh, now I get it. All right, now
there was some shit going on here.
So what would you say to that guy? What would you say to that guy? No, that that he was talking shit.
That's good. That's funny.
That's funny.
Thank God it's
good comment.
Right? Thank God it didn't kill me.
I'm gonna tell you, there was some shit going on.
Yeah. I definitely don't think. Yeah, I definitely don't think we were making it up. Especially when somebody said to me, somebody's like, well, what about the, you see that? I said, look, you think I'm gonna fucking make myself a Reese's peanut butter cup and I'm gonna make this shit up? I'm in the middle of making a Reese's peanut butter cup when I see this demon staring at me. That's the one I'm gonna make up.
Yeah.
Let me expose myself standing at the kitchen sink at midnight, like the fat guy that I am, saying, because I was literally in the middle of making my own Reese's peanut butter cup. I took a Hershey little bar from the Halloween candy, opened the creamy peanut butter, and was dipping the shit in. I turn over. Thank you. Dude, we downloaded so many buttons. Fucking learn.
I like the clapping one though, because any fat person that's listening will respect what you were doing in the kitchen late night style.
Midnight, bro.
I love that.
Deep diving.
I still have those urges to just go absolutely ham bone. Like I can't just make a bowl of vanilla ice cream. I got to pull everything I have in the cabinetry out, the nuts and the whipped cream, and I go I revert right back to Fat Boy days.
I take a Jiffy and pour all it out and pour all the chocolate chips in it.
Yeah,
and just crush it.
Oh, it tastes
just
so
out
good.
of the jar.
Yeah.
Man.
I miss those days too. Like my late night snacking is taking that little tiny Hershey bar and diving into the peanut butter, right? But I miss those days of like
destroying yourself,
going to get the
fat sweats, and you don't even slow you down.
I'm still having those days.
Yeah. But you're not late night snacking because you're better.
I am.
Yeah, but you're
you go in the kitchen, you see me going, just look in the bowl.
Like my downfall is this. My downfall is carbs. That is that's
everybody's downfall.
No, but not like, but dude, you see how much bread and he's talking about doing a bowl of ice cream. I would much rather take a loaf of Italian bread and cut it up and eat the entire fucking thing with a bagel with butter than doing an ice cream bar. Don't get me wrong. I can crush some ice cream, right? Yeah. But I'm not a huge sweetie kind of guy. Yeah. I want the fucking salt. Like I can eat a whole bag of Snyder's, and you give me a Snyder's bag and some of that French onion dip. Yeah, I'll destroy that. So I get the sweet shit, but when you do make an ice cream sundae, you got to do it all. If you're gonna
go balls to the wall, bro. I'm pulling shit out of the freezer. That's been like I found some apple fritters in there. I put those in there, and then
that's funny shit.
But what I reverted to kind of fix my cravings was I just get the budget ice pops.
I love those.
Dude, I love those, and they're only like 10 or 12. I don't know, 20 calories. The budget plastic bag, cheapo depot. I love them.
We love them. I just said to her the other day, I said, we haven't bought because you're buying annually. You get like the box of 100, right?
Yeah.
Where they come in the little netting.
Yeah. Oh, well, those are my second favorites. There's these ones called Budget Saver. They're like popsicles, old school with the 2 wooden sticks in the bottom. Oh. They look like the cheapest bag of popsicles in the whole selection, but I fucking love them. They're probably full of dye and everything else, but
don't matter.
I eat like 10 of them.
That's the key. Yeah. That's why we love those ones that come in the plastic bag.
Yeah. I eat a lot of them. I get those too.
I can crush those.
Oh, yeah.
And I just said to CCSA, I opened the freezer and I said, hey, we didn't buy our budget. They're not called budgets. We call them the cheap popsicles.
Yeah, the cheap pops. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we didn't buy those yet this year. And she's like, yeah, you didn't buy them because usually I'll buy them in that netting bag where there's like 200 of them or 100 in there and you can eat 10 of them.
I will stop if I don't have those in the freezer every night. I will stop, make a store stop just for those.
Phenomenal.
And then I supplement that with baseball salted peanuts. You know, the ones you crack.
Oh yeah, all day.
So I do that on the couch, but the wife gets pissed because I wake up in the morning and it looks like I was at a fucking baseball game. The whole couch is covered.
And you know what? The saddest part of that is I try really hard to be clean. Everybody knows how ridiculously clean I am. And when you get those peanuts, it's
impossible.
It's impossible. And as much as I bring the little, like we have the little popcorn things that come from the movie, they buy them from the Amazon.
Yeah.
The little popcorn thing that comes in, plastic thing, right? Yeah. And I am eating. You know how I eat? Yeah. I'm over it. Like I'm in it. And it don't matter. She's wake up. She's like, what the fuck? The entire blanket's covered. Yeah. The entire floor is covered. Like you'd think we were just throwing the shells on the floor. Yeah. But they're fantastic. Yeah. One time I screwed myself with those things. I bought raw.
I've done that. I gave them to the squirrels.
I didn't know.
The squirrels.
I didn't pay attention. And I ate half the bag and I was like, these are bad.
Yeah.
And she's like, bitch, you got to cook them. You got to cook them. I'm like, oh my God. I ate half a bag of raw peanuts, which in and themselves raw, you don't realize they can contain like salmonella and shit like that. You're supposed to cook them. Yeah. So she's like, yeah. And I had the shits for like 3 days.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, I'm not cooking these things. I'm fucking done.
Did you hear the thing about the Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
Chemicals?
I was crushed.
Is that true?
Yeah, it was true. Yeah. They tested it.
Had like mercury or something?
Yeah, all of it. They had all kinds of chemicals in it. Now, this is what happened. This is the
all of them?
It's a good segue into what we were going to talk about. Okay. Starting there. Yes. Not all of them. That's what I was going to say. They made everybody panic. Okay. There was a group of Girl Scout cookies tested in Indiana for mercury, lead, all that shit. And one cookie was worse than the other. And my favorite one.
Which one was it?
The peanut butter one.
That's the best one.
The best one. That was the top. And the other one, the shortbreads, they're phenomenal. You know those shortbreads? Yeah. I don't eat mint, as we all know. Yeah, I told you a story. I don't eat mint because of
that's all Stax likes.
Yeah, she likes that. My mother loves that too. I don't eat the mint because when I was a child, I have childhood trauma. I came home from bowling. We went to Carvel, which is an ice cream store like Neighbors. We did the mint chocolate chip flying saucers, which if you guys don't know, a flying saucer is like one of those black cookies on top, black cookie on the bottom, and the thing in the middle, the ice cream in the middle.
Like a moon pie.
And that was, pretty much. And they're frozen, right? Obviously, because ice cream. So I went home from bowling. I was probably about 10 years old or so, and I ate one of those on the way home. We stopped at Carvel, and then my sister made me watch The Elephant Man. Yeah. And then I watched the movie Fatso with Dom DeLuise. Maybe you remember that movie.
That movie.
He wouldn't remember that movie. but it was about a guy who was overeating constantly, right? Yeah. And his mother locked the refrigerator with a chain. It was a comedy, right? Dom DeLuise was like a Burt Reynolds. You know Burt Reynolds is?
Yeah, I know.
They were
Run.
They were like sidekicks. Yeah. Anyway, so my sister made me watch Elephant Man, which is the most horrendous film to watch.
Terrible film.
I threw up the entire from my bedroom to the bathroom. The mint chocolate chip. From that day, I've never eaten mint. How about that? Never eaten mint. So let's go back to the cookies for a second. Yeah. So they panicked everybody.
Well, I mean, you should if it's true.
But they said then it came out there was only Indiana cookies. So they made a blanket statement.
That definitely solved it for me.
Yeah, right. See,
yeah,
and that was her too. She's like, I'm not eating more of the cookies. So I was stuck. I buy $100 to $150 of those cookies every year.
I watch you. Yeah. I watch you do it. I watch you go over there and start buying them. I'm like, what are you doing?
All of them. $100 to $150.
Meanwhile, they're just all just gonna kill you.
All of them are gonna kill me. So I said to her, "Well, what are we gonna do with these cookies?" And she's like, well, I'm not eating them anymore. So now I was stuck fucking slowly as I'm trying to lose a little weight here. Now I've learned I can't cut it all out together. I can't be this guy, right? But I figure if I eat 1 or 2 a day, it's not going to kill me. So I was literally eating I've been eating $200 worth of Girl Scout cookies, 2 to 3 a day for the last 6 fucking months.
Like a mushroom mouth going.
I'm so sick of them at this point. I'm like, somebody else fucking eat these things.
I mean, I don't even know how they're allowed to sell them if it's got that.
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
That's crazy.
But you know what I mean. And saying that being said, everything's sold like that. I have learned in the last probably 5 years of how you guys call me a food snob, right? You and yes. Stacks think I'm a food snob.
No, we don't think you are.
It's not
100%.
It's not about being a food snob. You start to realize when you eat better food, you realize how bad some of the food is. Like, you won't eat hot dogs anymore.
No.
Exactly. So, because they're so bad.
I saw a video.
They're just so bad. They're so bad.
Once you see that video, the hot dog video on TikTok or whatever it is, I don't care.
Oh, they do all of them.
Once you see it,
they do all of them.
You can't erase it.
So they did that. They ruined Girl Scout cookies for me. But I'll buy them next year. I'll buy them next year.
But on that same point, I heard on some podcasts I was listening to, they did some study, and if you eat 2 eggs a day, your chance of getting dementia goes down by 50%.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's fucking true or not, but I did go home and make 2 eggs and put it in a burrito and ate that shit.
I'm not promoting smoking, but they did say if you smoke, it cures cancer.
If you ever look, Dees isn't a news guy.
No,
all right,
I'm not.
I said to him today. I said, "Dude," he's like, "What are you on the agenda?" I said, we're gonna talk a quick tariff thing, and I don't even know what word you used.
I said, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, I forgot what word you used. So the fuck? And my point is that you're not a news guy, right?
No.
So I know Sherpa watches the news, but today you heard, or whatever day you heard, 2 eggs solve, dementia, right? Tomorrow you're going to hear eggs don't solve dementia.
No, this is what I heard.
That's the problem.
Let me tell you what I heard today. I heard that like yesterday, and then I come home today, and the wife's like, I heard today that pineapples cure cancer. And I was like, well, let's go get some fucking pineapple. Pineapple and eggs are proven, bro. I'll eat both those. That's the deal,
It seems like we're going to have to edit. So I guess we're okay with that because once again, it's you.
Yeah, fuck.
Quit
talking.
You missed.
Fuck.
I just love it. He doesn't even understand how funny he is and how much I love him.
Yeah.
But he's such a bitch. Last week we were cruising along. And by the way, you and I hadn't really spoken this week because you were mad or something. But we were arguing about like where it was, and I'm just thinking, it's normal production meeting. If we're going to expand this thing, we're all not going to love each other every time, right? It's our unity and our bond. Yeah. But you're full of shit. You love to fight with the rest of us. But anyway, so you and I hadn't spoken this week, but at the end of like we usually do, because we usually here, and we were fighting over this camera. We were fighting over that little camera. We were trying to get it up. I didn't tell you when I had her.
Okay, so here. Wait,
let me. Before you get there,
wait.
Before you get there,
to get into the fight, bro.
It wasn't even a fight.
I want to hear
it. It wasn't a fight. I'm glad he said that.
Yeah, it wasn't a fight. It was a production meeting, right? Was it not? We were talking about, but I didn't tell you, like you and I, because him and I think we have very good conversations about it. I'd like some fire. Like it would be really boring if again you said it tonight. You're the production guy, right? So AC, shut the fuck up and let you do what you do best. I have to respect that, even though I still always want to I want to at least learn it, and I want to put something in to see if I'm right or wrong with it. Not that I need to be right, because let's not kid ourselves. There are a million times I'm not right. But what I want to get to the point was, you and I, we were talking all that, and you helped me out, and that all worked, right? That day, it really came out nice. The video, we did a video. You weren't around. We did a video of the we had somebody calling on FaceTime, so he was able to punch it up on the computer, so I could see them here, and we wanted to see that we could record it, right? You know what I'm talking about. So you had left, right? And after you and I had the conversation, a good, couple of second heated, how I am and how he is, right? So her and I fucking went into it that night.
You and the wife?
No. Me
and your
and
sister?
No, my sister's great. Me and Vanda. It started. She was trying to tell me. Now I love her.
All right, so it's not us. It's you. This is where you say this, because
no, it's not.
We caught this dude after a full day of drinking, boy.
No,
OAC after a full day of drinking, boy.
But that's when that usually when I get myself in trouble, as you know. But that wasn't it. But let me tell you what this was the because
he's saying that something happened. I'm just trying to see what happened.
Nah, it wasn't. You've seen my day of drinking. I end up telling a cop to spray me down with a hose. So anyway,
Flashdance style.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the night 5 years ago when I got myself in trouble. No, I thought you and I had a good conversation. I'm always, what every once in a while, I as I told you a million times, I feel like, I don't want to walk on eggshells with you, like, because I know you got a lot going on, but we're trying to build this, right? And I always feel like there's a little bit of that kickback saying, hey, well, you gotta, we accommodate as much as we can, but I can't break for it, right? So that night, she was telling me, this is where it was a problem. You can fucking say anything you want about the show, what we do, right? Yeah. I enjoy it. Hey, the carbon monoxide, right? Yeah, I'm a Riri. I'm okay with that. Whatever you want to say to me doesn't. Yeah. I'm not a hurt kind of guy. She was trying to give us pointers on the show. Okay.
This is when I wasn't here, right?
This is when you weren't here. Him and I were just testing the equipment. And again, I'm not calling her out. I love her.
You're calling her out.
I'm not calling her out. I'm really not.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
But this is the problem.
I wasn't there.
If you want to have a conversation with it, you got to listen to the show. Is that?
Oh, that's a fair assessment. Okay. So you're saying she's not listening to any of the episodes?
She's not. She's telling me shit we should be doing, and I said, "How many?"
What was some of the pointers?
On our clips.
Okay.
On our clips. She said on your clip. Okay, I'll give you two of the points that, again, really, I call it me. I'm okay with calling it me because in terms of that, it doesn't make fucking sense. So if I'm going to call it out and say, yes, I don't believe what you're saying, that's right. Then I'm being an asshole, right? So the one was have like, we have inside jokes. I don't believe that most of the stuff that we talk about here, we don't explain for the audience.
Well, it's kind of off the fly too.
But no. Follow me. I need you to stay focused here, please. I'm talking about we don't talk about shit that only you and I or us three in this room. Don't you feel like the conversations that we have, we explain what was going on previous, during, and after? Don't you think we paint a picture for the audience so they're not feeling like, oh, it's three guys in a room that we don't know they're having inside jokes and they're talking that we don't know what they're talking about? I looked through 3 or 4 of our episodes, and I couldn't find a time where I would be an audience member, and I was trying to look at it from an outside point of view, right? Where we weren't making sense, that somebody couldn't follow what the situation was that we were talking about. Like, and do you agree or not agree with that?
I would say in the beginning we had, again, in anything that you do in the beginning, it's a little rough start. But I think we felt each other out the pretty good. I mean, we kind of got into a flow. We still talk to each other.
Talking content.
The one thing that I love about our show, and I'll just say it from my standpoint, is that it's not rehearsed. It's off the fly. Yeah. We don't typically talk about what we're going to talk about.
But we come
into a room and we kind of just talk about what you experienced, what I may experience, right, and we just go off, and it's an hour long. And it's just I saw a comment.
Do you feel that we talk shit that people can't understand?
Maybe so, but that's what it's called. It's called complete nonsense. I mean, things that you may say people don't understand. Things that I say people are like, what the hell is he talking about? But again, somebody wrote a comment. It was like, I love the banter. It's like 6th and 7th grade kids talking, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Again.
They called us 6th graders?
They did.
Who did that?
I'm at least an 8th.
I didn't even see that comment. I'll fucking respond to that one.
He's in there.
I have a master's.
But I love that because
it?
it was on. It was on.
Which one was
YouTube.
it? Oh, was
it was
it?
on the.
No, I read all the
YouTubes.
YouTubes.
It was on the God episode.
Just recently?
Yeah.
Oh, it had to be recent.
Yeah.
And, so it happened.
And maybe maybe I misinterpreted it, but I thought it was hilarious.
Wait till I fucking see
because I love that we are just off the fly and we talk about. I mean, we talk about you experiencing a ghost. We talk about God. We talk about. We're not afraid to tackle a topic.
Understood. But her point was she was trying to say that that there were conversations that were going on that were inside information, and that I disagree with. I mean, I
don't understand what you're saying though. There,
inside information, like we're doing a joke that you and I are laughing about, of a joke that's something that happened to us, where we're not explaining the scenario of how it happened for the audience.
But that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I love about. Again, like people are listening to our content that we're talking about, and it's not rehearsed. So what you're saying, our inside joke is off the fly.
Right.
It's not like we sit there and go, "Hey, I hope they get the punchline." Maybe you get the punchline, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I love about the show.
But we're not also again having conversations about stuff that like that happened to us, like where we're not explaining what the whole scenario was. That was my point with her. And
I think we do. I think
exactly. That's what I interpret. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I mean, like when you talk about, we talked about it in a past episode, like, what do you want that person to go find the episode? You do that a lot.
I would love that. Yeah, but that's, hey, look, that's a continuation of the show, in my opinion, and I like that comment. But that's a continuation of the show. Look, we want listeners, right? So we have a steady audience of people that listen. So if we refer back to something that was on episode, I'm just assuming that they're listening. I'm as we should, because it's kind of like a television show, right? Every television show, any good TV shows like dramas, NYPD Blue or even Curb Your Enthusiasm. They have a flow. They bring up shit like shit continues, right? So I just assume when I say that our listeners are, oh yeah, I remember that show that they talked about. And the second thing that she talked about. So I get your point. I just don't. I don't know that that it's always has to be brand new. Like we can't bring up something that happened last week or something that happened. Like I think that God episode with Big C was fucking phenomenal. Like the one we just put out that was 3 weeks old. It was a very good show.
Let me pause you for a second, because my takeaway that I got from the show when I listened back is Dees over here is fucking hilarious, and you don't catch it until you listen to it the second time around. Like he's talking over there, and when I'm in the room, I don't hear it, but then when I go back around, you got me laughing, bro.
One-liners for sure. Good one-liners.
But that's what I love to do. I love to do that.
Yeah, that's your role.
That's right.
And then the other comment that she did. Yeah, he doesn't give me any comments. He just fucking gives me the.
No, I mean, I just think I'm confused though. You're saying that they're saying that we don't talk about what we're actually talking about. Like,
no. One person said that.
No, I'm okay with it. I love the feedback. Yeah. Love us, hate us.
It's just that she was stating that she was again. You can't have the conversation if you don't listen to the show. And the other thing was she was talking about the clips, and you and I had already discussed the clips. The clips being because a lot of the clips you don't see all the clips because I send you what I'm posting.
Right. Which is through an algorithm.
I have 50 of them. Right.
Which is through an algorithm.
He puts it in. So and that was a valid point on that one, that the clips were, because some of them just don't make any sense. You don't see the ones that make complete no sense. I see them all, and I don't even think he sees them all. So I watch all 40 or 50 of them, and some of them start in the middle of a sentence. Some of them start at the end of a sentence, and those just get rid of. So the ones that we do are the best ones, the best of the best. But if you look at the other clips out in the world, they kind of have a start, a middle, and a finish. So and him and I had discussed that I have to go into this new program, or the program that we're doing. I'm going to learn how to take the program and extend the clips or not extend the clips, because I'm only running 2 clips a day. So if out of 40, I have to find the best 15 out of it for the week. And
I agree with that. I agree with.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make our own, right? Make one.
That's also very tough. And
it's not if I just do it a couple of times, you'll get used to it. But those are things. So my point was, when you walked out, dude, that conversation lasted till 2:30 in the morning. 2:30.
That's why I walked out.
But you didn't hear it. We weren't even out. We didn't even start talking by that. We were talking to my sister.
Listen, that's great feedback.
But no, I knew the conversation was going to go till 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, you knew
1,000%. I knew the conversation.
Does she like the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes the show. Well, now she's listening to it. Yeah, but yeah, of course it was going to go. I've known the chick for 30 years, and I don't get to see her.
Yeah, and you were doing inside jokes, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I gotta
go. You got fucking.
Yeah,
jokes.
I love that we banter the way we do, and we talk about something. I mean, some things we look at each other sometimes, and we start laughing. You know, it's just because we were there, we experienced it. So
right, but I think in that aspect, we explain exactly what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
We definitely 100 explain what's going on. So I wanted to do a quick.
Great feedback.
Yeah, thank you. You always say great feedback. Some of it's shitty.
I love it.
When a guy says we're 6-year-olds,
I love it.
I'm gonna fucking find
I fucking
that
love that.
I read them.
Great.
I read them all 2 days ago. I didn't see that one.
I'll show it to you.
I believe you. Yeah, it's Let's go back to sports for a quick second. The Rangers season's gonna end today, and I'm really sad about it. I actually cried a little bit. Anybody as I got back to my New York people today, they had John Davidson, who was a caller. You know, like you love your Tampa Bay guys. Yeah. So John Davidson and Sam Rosen called the games for 20 years together, and they did it when the Rangers won the Cup. And tonight is Sam Rosen's. He's our announcer. It's his final home game. So they brought back the guy that he called the Cup with, and he was this. He was his color guy for 20 years. Tonight was the night. So I saw the first couple of them, and I got a little teary-eyed. That's kind of sad.
I love how hockey does it, dude.
40 years the guys called the games. 40 years. And the fact that our Rangers are terrible and they're not making the playoffs just breaks my fucking heart.
I'll be honest here, I'm a Lightning fan. It does break my heart a little too. Because I do but I shake my head to some of the decisions they made through the year. Yeah. I just don't, we talked about that.
Yeah. Terrible. The Rangers.
I got a hockey question.
Yeah.
How old is Alex Ovechkin, bro?
40 years old, bro.
That was epic.
40 years old.
Well, when I seen the picture, I didn't know he was still playing. The dude looks just as old as Wayne Gretzky, bro.
Oh yeah. He's been playing. He's 40 years old. But
he looks like he's 70.
Oh wait, well,
he was a monster.
Isn't that hockey going to do that to you? You know, the two sports that really beat your body up.
I don't know.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. The two sports that beat the shit out of your body are basketball and hockey.
No, football.
Well, remember, football, in a football game, it's 11 minutes, all right? Yeah. Their bodies get beat up in a short period of time, correct, because of the trauma of the force. These guys play for 30, 20, 15 years skating all day. The basketball guys run up and down a hard
Well, then you'd have to say boxing is the most.
Boxers don't last. They don't last.
Is one of the toughest sports out there.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that, but I think
I'm just saying in terms of the bodies of the athletes.
Yeah,
the bodies of an athlete, the basketball and the hockey guys become the most broken down players. Yes, football is right. Football's right there. I'm not going to say they're not. They're a tough
right.
breed.
Boxing is. They're all. I mean,
but boxing is a short-lived career, man.
Being on skates on the ice
Tyson boxed for fucking 10 years. That was it. 10 years. And he had one fight a year. I mean, it's not that traumatic. And when you're beating somebody, and when you're Tyson and you're knocking people out in 30 seconds, you're not even being the guy didn't even barely fight. He barely fought. Now the MMA guys are a different animal.
He's like,
Yeah. How many fights would you say McGregor had in his career, like in his professional?
I mean,
career?
I don't know.
20.
He had a lot of fights prior to him in the UFC, and then he dominated his division.
Yeah, I mean, you're an MMA guy. That's what we ask. You have to see whatever he is.
Now he's the promoter of the bare knuckle fighting. So
is he?
I don't think he's ever going to fight again.
No, he'll never fight.
He says he wants to come back, but
he can't because they just did a whole. They did a documentary on those guys all like being called out for essays and things like that. Like they did a whole thing on these guys, and he was one of them. I was shocked by that.
I'm not shocked by it.
I did, but I never heard that. I never heard that.
I love watching him and him fight back in the day.
Oh yeah,
but I mean,
he was ridiculous.
It's past, and we move on. You know,
there's this. There's another thing that's been going on in the news lately.
But before we get on the news, I want to hear about this dude's. We left off, and this dude went on a bachelor party, and this is the first time I've seen him, and I don't know if the bachelor party took a toll on you, but.
It could have.
What's going on, buddy?
Well, I plead the fifth on a lot of the conversation because I'm just not going to be the guy who tells on anybody. But I had a great time. We had a blast. Everybody behaved themselves.
Oh, talk about a canned response, bro.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this.
I thought that we were talking real, dude.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I can sum some of it up to you.
Please do. Tell me the inside information.
I can sum.
Air it out.
I was wax. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it was a lot of waxing. We were getting texts at 2:00 in the morning, and he was telling us how much he loves us.
I love him so hard. I love him so hard.
He was his life 360. Now you have to understand that you're learning the Dees as we're learning you. You learn the Dees. The Dees he's not afraid to tell you if he cannot do it or he should not be doing it. He's a very cautious guy. You think you're dealing with the size of him. You think you're dealing with this monster who's out there making noise. He's not that guy. He is the most cautious, reserved, making sure he's planning it. Now, maybe 20 years ago he was that monster, but right now he's not. So we're getting texts from a club. He's at a club, all right? He's at a club that you can't bring alcohol in, but he found a way to be hammered in it. And he's at a club where it's a second club that he went to because the first one, his buddy got himself into some kind of fun, if you will, right? Which again isn't my story to tell. But he's sending us I love you texts like this. I just love you. And he's sending us fucking videos, bro. Now, if you had the computer up, unfortunately, and if we can do it one time, I'm looking forward. He's like this. I love you guys. He's smoking a cigarette. I fucking love you. I love you so much. And his wife's like, yo, bro, you got to go home, man. Your phone's going to die. He's like, I don't care. I love you. I love you. And then she's like, his 360's off. Like she's got him 360s. She's calling me at 3:00 in the morning, bro. And she's like, are you ready to take a ride? And I'm like, and I know she's dead serious. I'm like, we're not, first of all, you're not taking the ride. If I have to go get my guy, I will happily go get my guy because I would go there. I'd sleep over and then we drive home the next day together, right? But she wasn't going to pull her husband out like a 10-year-old
by the ear
out of the club because he was waxed and she's like, where you at? You're not with your friends? And she's like, you got to go find your friends, buddy. And this is a group text. I'm like, let the man fucking be.
Oh, well, he's lucky he's so big because it sounds like if he was like a little girl, he would be getting
Dude, I'll tell you one story.
Yeah.
I'm so waxed in this club, and this dude comes up, and this guy's fucking huge. The guy is so big, and of course I'm so waxed because I don't care. But he stands there and he's Russian, so I'm like, I turn around, I'm like, look at you, you're a big motherfucker. And he just looks at me and he's like, what? I'm like, you are a big motherfucker. You're a big bitch. So I start grabbing his arm. He's looking at me like he's gonna fucking eat me. Yeah. Like I'm just like judging. I'm like, dude, you should be on Reacher. You ever seen Reacher? I'm talking to this guy like he fucking knows what I'm talking about, and he's looking at me like he's just gonna destroy me.
Right, he's gonna rip your head off. Yeah.
And then I'm like drinking all this shit, and I'm like, there's no alcohol in this shit. So she's like, no, you have to go next door.
Right.
And I'm like, well, my buddy just bought all this alcohol here. It's not alcohol.
His buddy, they're at a club that doesn't serve alcohol. Okay, this is in Tampa.
It was so crazy.
Like you can't buy alcohol in there because it's full nude.
Right? Okay.
Right? You got to understand the premise, right? Yeah. And they're all over the country like that. A lot of them, if you're full nude, you can't buy. They don't sell alcohol, right? But they have a way for you to they call BYOB, right? So this guy's buddy is so waxed, right, that he is buying the entire bar alcohol, thinking he's buying alcohol. And these are non-alcoholic drinks that these dudes are pounding.
Oh, that's
the
hilarious.
System was you have to go
It's ridiculous.
It's the dumbest system. You have to go next door, but you have to buy a cup from this place, and then you have to go outside. Put your cup on a dumpster, which I'm a germaphobe.
Well,
I felt like I was going to chop my arms off. Put your cup on a dumpster. Go buy the drink with a cup. Come back and pour it in your cup.
It wasn't
and then you get back in.
It wasn't required to put it on the dumpster. That's just where you found it. Let's be clear about that. There wasn't a dumpster there that's a deposit cup here, okay? They just had to find a place to put their cup between the 7-Eleven and the club.
For the record, I wanted to hold my cup, like hide it.
I don't even know how you did it.
I didn't like that.
I didn't know how you did it.
I didn't like it. There was so many cups.
I would never would drink it. Oh my God.
There was cups everywhere.
Of course there were cups everywhere. You had to leave the cup out.
Oh my God.
What I didn't understand was why did they make you put the cup outside?
I don't know.
You were allowed to bring the cup in the club though.
But all the bouncers were outside. They were watching you. Like it was just, they were the coolest dudes.
But you were able to bring the cup into the club, right? You were able to drink
after you bought it from this place and poured it into that cup.
Yeah. You bought the beer at 7-Eleven.
Which makes no sense.
Put it. So why couldn't you? Oh, well, you had to. Yeah, they didn't want you to bring the alcohol in the club.
No, you can bring it back in their cup.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's why you had to bring the cup outside. You couldn't pour the alcohol you couldn't buy a 6-pack of beer and put it in a cooler and bring it into the club. You had to have it You had to have it in that red cup prior to going in the club.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. That's what it's.
That's too much thinking for me.
Tampa. Who would expect Tampa would have it like that?
Dude, Tampa's great, man. You just gotta go.
So then he tells me a story. Now Dees is not a high-end food guy. Let's get that clear.
No, I'm not. I'm a burger steak guy.
We love those restaurants, right? We love them. Now we know the restaurant he's going to. Next year when we go to the game, we're going to go down there. So, and we've all discussed it. We won't buy the $500, $700 bottle of wine like those guys did because first of all, I don't drink wine. Second of all, a $700 bottle of wine, you better be hammered after one sip, right? But they spent like $2,000 on the meal, and T just wanted French fries.
I just wanted French fries. I mean, look, these guys got it.
He wanted a beer,
and they my buddies will share the love. They're great guys.
Yeah.
I was just like, I am out of my element. Get me the fuck out of here.
Good though.
I mean, I felt like I had hobo clothes on. I don't know what.
I'm sure you did that. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind you did not have a jacket.
It wasn't a suit. It wasn't a suit.
You didn't have a jacket.
100%.
Did you even have dress shoes on?
I actually did not. I had tennis shoes on.
Yeah, of course you had tennis shoes.
I hit him. She yelled at me about having my hat on.
He wanted to go into a 5-star, 4-star steakhouse with a baseball.
No, it was definitely a 5-star. I think it's a 5-star.
Yeah, baseball cap.
I've been there before, bro.
Oh, it's like you got to go into like a museum and all this. So when we get done with the thing, the bill's so much. It's like they're like, dropping a $2,000 bill, and I'm like panicking. So I'm just like, what the fuck do? I need to get the fuck out of here. But we're not done.
Why are you? You got to explain why you're panicking.
I'm panicking because
you don't want to pay.
I got $200.
I budgeted $200 for this.
That's exactly what he budgeted.
Yeah. Hey, I'll get the tip. He's fucking.
That would have been the tip.
No.
Would have been the tip. $2,200.
Not good at math either. So the bottom line is, after we got out, I was like, all right, we're out of this place. Let's go, And then there's still more. Like you got to go back to a museum walk. I'm thinking, how much does that cost? And then we go to there's like another thing where you go into a dessert bar, which is, and my buddy's buying me these dirty martinis the whole time. I mean, it was a great show.
It was a 48-hour journey.
Oh yeah.
And from what we got, the 2 nights he was there, the texts and the love fest, there wasn't a moment you were sober.
And I got to see a Lightning game. Buddy got me into a Lightning game.
Yeah.
Lightning shout out to the Battery down in Tampa. She owns the place down there. It's a bar. If you ever have a chance to go down there and check that out, great place to get a drink.
Battery, that's what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the Battery.
Downtown Tampa?
Yep, downtown Tampa.
And what was the name of the steakhouse? Do you remember?
Burke's.
Oh, that's right. You said that Burke's. Was it Burke's?
I think it was Burke's Steakhouse.
Nice. Now,
and then we went to a different steakhouse after that. But
what was the second one?
It was in the Hard Rock Casino.
Oh, that's right. You said
very, very good food. I highly recommend it if you.
It better be.
Take a loan out or something.
Well, he's not built for that stuff.
I'm not.
There are just certain guys that just aren't built for that. There's nothing, but the food was probably super quality. I mean,
it was. I mean, I got a chance to eat things that I haven't been able to try.
Caviar.
I had caviar.
He didn't even know what caviar is. This guy doesn't even know what caviar is. And that's the beauty of him. Now, caviar is, if you've ever eaten it, it is not good.
It was good, though.
You like the salty shit. I mean, it's
they had the sauce that was.
They had sauce on it.
I mean, I highly recommend that if you get a chance to take take a chance to go down there to do that, yeah, take a chance. It was great food.
Yeah. Food has to be fantastic.
Yeah. It was definitely great.
I bet the steak was cooked to perfection. That's the other
thing. Like, it's not called steak. So I'm reading it like or whatever the fuck it was called. I couldn't read it. I couldn't see it.
That was the problem. Let's stop there for a second.
I wasn't reading the names. I was reading the prices.
He couldn't. The guy didn't bring his glasses. He can't see. He needs reading glasses.
My buddy says, hey, the 9 ounce is $65. I said, what else is there? He said, well, there's the 14 ounce. I said, I don't even hear that one. The 9 ounce sounds great to me.
What's a 3 ounce?
Because I still have $200 in my pocket.
He goes. He's literally going with $200. But he did. It's good because we forgot about that. That was 2 weeks ago already.
Yeah,
I totally
it was
forgot
a great
about
time.
that.
My buddy got married. It's congratulations to him.
Is he married
Yeah,
already?
he got married.
Oh, last weekend?
Yep, down in Keys, got married, and
Nice.
congratulations to both of you.
Yeah. Did you hear from them? Did everybody call you, tell you it was a great wedding, or how?
I seen it on there. He texted me some license plates that said Dees on it. It was pretty
Oh,
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
He was, the Dees was deciding between. He decided to do the bachelor party because it's expensive run, right?
Yeah.
So he did the bachelor party over the wedding, but you got to pick your battles when it comes to destination weddings and destination and bachelor parties because that shit can get super super expensive.
Yeah, it was great seeing some of the guys.
But he
I've
missed
not seen.
the funniest part. Like he was with his guys, and any of his fears with his boys for all the years that they've been together, that none of it was realized. He went down and had a great time, but he fucking missed his home. The guy was in a club sending us shots. Now at this point, I'm not even 100% comfortable that those shots had alcohol in them.
Oh, they did.
Oh, they did. No,
we drank the whole time.
But the one bar had non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic.
I figured that out fairly quickly.
So what
I was like, this doesn't even taste right.
What were the red shots?
The red shots were apple month.
Oh, apple
teenies.
Apple. No,
They're called apple teenies.
or sour apples.
Oh,
because it was Washington
apples.
apple.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I hate those shots.
Interesting about a Washington apple. You were saying this shots that were red. Washington apples are green.
No. These every Washington apple I've ever had has been red.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I know them as green.
It's all Crown. And Crown is the worst.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Vegas bomb. I've done Vegas bombs in Vegas that are red, and when I do Vegas bombs here, they're brown.
Yeah,
right. Because they don't put the grenadine in them here.
Yeah,
and that's what they do over there. And I know Washington apples. If you look up a Washington apple, they're green. Aren't they green? They're green.
That's the one. Every ones that I've had have been red.
Interesting. See,
but
it's wherever you go.
Those always got me towards the end.
All of them.
They just.
Crown
is my weakness.
So Dees, I think he came home with $17. I think. Did you come home with any money left or no? Were you just completely wiped out?
Listen,
you went with a budget of like $1,000, so let's not act like you only had $200 in your pocket. You left with $1,000. You went on your way.
My buddies took care of everybody. Yeah, they especially took care of me. So I love you all for that.
That's the funniest part of it when he tells you the whole story. When because I heard it. The girls heard it, then they heard the PG version, then they heard the R version, and then when I went over, I heard the version again. I was trying to help him out because he looked a little beat up, and I was like, the parts that I heard, you don't have to retell the story, and the entire thing was around him not wanting to. His buddies just kept saying, don't worry about Dees, don't worry, because again, he makes no apologies for it. Look, this is how much I have. I can't go over this, and I'm good with it, right? But they were just like, bro, we got you. Everybody's got you. And even them telling him he's got him, he's still worried that he's over budgeting himself when his big boys, I mean, he has friends that they're successful. They're like, don't worry about it, guy, we got you. And
I
he's
definitely don't try to take advantage of my friends.
Right. But they're not even thinking you are. They're not thinking you are. They're like, come on, bro, we got you.
I still have that.
And you're still. That's why I say when you think the guy is an animal from 20 years ago, he's not that guy. He's making sure even his friends tell him, dude, spend whatever you want. We have you. He's still worried about $200 in his pocket that he can't get the 14-ounce steak, or he can only get the 6-ounce or the 9-ounce.
And that's the thing. Stacks is like, go for it, but I'm always like, oh, we're good. I'm just okay.
Yeah, Stacks said go for it.
Stacks will say go for it.
Wow, would she?
When we're on vacation, she's
yeah. And she worries about it for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been there.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not gonna.
I'm like, we said go for it.
Yeah. And then the rest of the month, you're like, what can we eat? And she's like, you got peanut butter and jelly in there. You can make yourself an ice cream sundae. That's what you can do over there. It's real nice that she does that when you're out, so you're not embarrassed at the restaurant when she's like, I'm sorry, honey, you can get the $10 item right there. Is there a 2-for-1 item?
Waitress.
Yeah. We've never had done to us. No. You just hear about it for the rest of the week. And since we're with you a lot of times, we hear about it too. It's not like you're alone in that misery. We'll all of a sudden come back and it'll all be the same. All right, so I want to talk about one thing. Anything else on that you want to go over?
No, good times. Congratulations. Love it.
I just want to know, hey Sherpa, are you a portfolio guy at all? You seen how the market was manipulated the last couple of days, or no? Are you not paying attention to that?
Bro, I do. I'm a company man, so I put the same money in and I check it every now and again, and I don't know. I think since I've had my accounts, I'm up like 30% over whatever the last 5 years. So I just let it ride, man. I'm not relying on that money. It goes away and it goes away. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Don't get all worked
I
up.
just think that it will, and that's the thing that we want to bring up. There are so many people panicking, right? The market has tanked. Now, there's a couple of things that I think can happen here. One is they trying to look, if they go in and these tariffs, the market gets nervous, right? So what happens is in my portfolios and stuff, $50,000 down in 3 days. Now I look at it this way. I'm not concerned about it because it's long term. That's first. Second, if the only thing that would bother me about it is if I wasn't on the inside, because when they do that, they do a pump and dump like that, because today it's up $30,000, right? So everything that was wiped out in the last 4 days is pretty much back. Okay. So if they do a pump and dump like that, I think it's unfair to guys like us, because we should be in on that too, because that's what can happen, right? It went back up 30, almost $40,000 in a day. So if we had bought more at the time it was down, now all of a sudden you're making some serious money. But our financial advisors, as you're saying, you just letting it ride forever, we're just even keels. It'll go really down and then come really back up. I would much rather be on the inside of that and have my brokers call us and say, hey, you're at a pit right now. You might as well just figure out, buy some shit now, because when it does climb up like the way it did today, you're going to make some serious fucking money. And then everybody's talking like, what is he doing? What's he doing? I'm going to defend one thing about that, because I don't believe he's trying to bankrupt everybody. I just don't believe that. I think in his long-term plan about making sure that you bring the jobs back, the downside of that's not going to be fast. He may not be in office when that builds itself up, but that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it more America be able to sustain itself instead of relying on everybody else that we do. But there are certain things you're just never going to produce here. You're not going to produce. We would have to take over Greenland because we need the stuff that goes in these cameras, right? All the lithium and shit and all that stuff.
Greenland, bro.
That's why he's trying to get that.
Oh, because of the minerals?
Yeah, of course. What do you think he wants Greenland?
Yeah, but we got it
for
all.
Vacation?
Supposedly we got all that stuff here. They just don't. There's all
that's why.
Supposedly it's all underneath us, man. There's just too many.
You mean if they start digging here? We're not mining it right now for ourselves.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how. I haven't heard that, and if it is true, then why are we chasing around a fucking country that really wants no part of us? Because a lot of the minerals are there. But I think his long-term goal could be successful. It's just that I think he went too fast, and that's why everybody panicked. But then what did he do? He put the brakes on, right? The market comes back up. Like, and I know you don't watch it, right? It tanked the last week. Yeah. Like, people are losing fucking millions and millions of dollars, and I just think he ripped it off too fast. But his long-term goal is not that bad of a picture. If you stop to think about it and see what he's trying to do, it could work.
Well, weren't you saying you found a supplier for your frames in the United States?
I did, bro.
So that's like a personal story to you, where it's like, hey, just find a supplier in the United States. Work out for your business, kind of thing.
Yes and no, and since you brought that up,
which is tough to do, or
people don't manufacture for there are not a lot of companies manufacturing eyeglasses here. It's not a lot of manufacturing in the States, period. Let's be serious, right? iPhone, all this electronics, none of it comes from here. This is my problem with that. Yes, I found a guy. I'm ecstatic. I still have to import the Zio, the plastic. So they don't make plastic here. So I can make the frames here, okay? But the Zio has to be imported. So I'm hoping what it does do is it cuts down on the tariffs that will come into the country for the frames proper, but I may still save money on the fact that now they're only bringing in sheets of plastic, if you will. How frames are made are sheet stock, right? They're big flat sheets of plastic. So they'll bring those things in instead of big blocks, because the blocks would be way too expensive, right? Usually they would do like a table like that, and that's called the block of plastic. It makes 1,500 frames, right? So what they're doing is they're bringing in sheets. It's cheaper, smaller, because it's smaller ship, easier to ship, the whole 9 yards, but that's still coming in. So hopefully that's not going to get tariffed too much, but it'll still be cheaper than how I'd have to land the frames.
Yeah, and I got a question how all that works. So, like, okay, he says there's a tariff on every import, 25%. So who is doing that, bro?
Okay, so how it works is this. You get an iPhone, right? They wholesale the iPhones in, right? So they bring in the iPhone. AT&T brings in the iPhones from China, wherever they're bringing them in, and they're bringing them in at a wholesale cost. Wholesale cost, let's just say for shits and giggles, is $100, right? Now they're going to tack on 30% more of that. So it's going to cost them $130 to land in the country before they even.
But I'm saying, like, okay, global economies, who's taxing who's collecting that 30%? Like, who's keeping track of it? The IRS can't even keep track of, like, what we're doing with our money in the United States. So who's keeping track of that, and who's collecting that money?
True. So what'll happen is they're going to you're going to have AT&T buying in shiploads of phones, right? So now their bill is going to go up 30%. So they're going to keep track of it, right? So now they know that they spent more on the product. Now they're going to pass that just gets passed to us. All of it's going to get passed to us. Same thing. Canada, the
but where, at what point in the
nobody,
supply chain?
The government doesn't change it. The government doesn't.
So at what point in the supply chain is it that money getting collected?
When it lands into the end, the person who's going to use it. So the person who's going to wholesale it, right, is going to get that 30% tariff, and then they're going to just tack on 30 points to the product, to the retail, to the consumers. So the retailer, whoever's buying it, give you another example, the wood that comes from Canada, the tariff's 20%, I think at this point, 25%. So again, if the wood's $100, now it's going to cost the guy who's bringing the wood in. You're the home builder, right? You buy wood. Home Depot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Home Depot's bringing the wood in. You're buying it from them because you're the builder. The Home Depot is going to bring it in. It's now $125 for them to cross the border. Now, what happens when I ship frames? There's duties and customs on everything, which is collected by the government.
Duties.
Okay. Duties and taxes. So when I ship a product to Canada, it costs me $100 for the frame, right? And then it costs them $20 in duties and customs. That is a government that is government run. They collect that money from them like it's a sales tax, right? You know, you do sales tax. Yeah. When you're a business, you have sales tax. I sell you something for $9.
Yeah,
I got to charge you $1. Okay, so every month, how's that collected by the government? I, as the retailer, have to put into every month or quarterly, put into the government that I sold the X amount of product, and this is the sales tax that you would collect on me at 10% or 20% or whatever it is. So it all becomes the person who's buying it in bulk, okay, or selling it to the end user. Those are the ones that are going to pay that tariff. They're going to be Home Depot's going to pay it on the lumber, on the metal, all that stuff, and then they're just going to tack it on 25% for us. That's it.
Yeah, you know how you sometimes hear those back to the investments. You know, you sometimes hear those investment tips, and you're like, oh, I wish I would have. You know, I'm sure a lot of people had it with Bitcoin. And
all of it, yeah.
Right. I was at the pawn shop. I don't know, 5-6 months ago, and I was talking with a guy.
Pawning jewelry.
Pawn and jewelry. I buy jewelry from the pawn shop. Gotcha. That's where I buy my jewelry. And he's like, Sherpa, I've seen a lot of people coming in recently buying boatloads of gold, just bunches of. This one was still like $2,300 or something. It was on the low end. Yeah. And he's like, they must know something we don't know. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right, you know, but sure enough, now it's up around like what, 3,000 over 3,000. But the pawn shop had the pulse 5 months ago. The pawn shop dude had the pulse. He was like, dude,
gold and anybody worth a shit investors. And anybody can, give me a 6th and 7th grade comment on this shit, right?
I'm still at that.
Gold is still and will always be one of the best investments ever. The big boys have tons and tons of gold stashed in their fucking safes. And I'm not talking their home safe. I'm talking in the reserves, right? They buy gold because gold does not go down. If anything, gold a lot of times goes up. When other shit's going down, gold is going up. Gold and silver are a big, big investment. And you think about it, how archaic is it that people actually buy gold bars? But they do, man. And your pawn shop guys and the jewelers love when we sell them their gold. They give you go in and sell some gold, and they love you, right? Because what they do is melt it down. Gold is sold by weight. So
I buy it from him. He gives me the hookup. He gives me the price.
Sure
yeah,
you buy like gold jewelry.
I buy all my jewelry. Any jewelry I've ever bought from the pawn shop. 100%. Yeah,
cheaper than the jeweler.
Oh
obviously.
man, way cheaper than the jeweler. I
Even
get it at price.
Even diamonds.
Yeah, I get it.
Is that because you're friends with the guy, or if you go to? That's
a
different story. Yeah, I mean
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna start buying. If I don't really do gold anymore, I'm a silver guy.
So I had my point in time when I had the big old gold Fat Daddy chain, and I was feeling myself and all this. But you know what ended up happening is that thing got ripped off my neck in fights, and it got ripped off my neck. And I remember one time we were out on a boat, and somebody kind of like pushed me, and my chain popped off my neck, and we were offshore, and the chain just starts diving into the depths, and I go after it, and like at the last second I was able to grab it before it went to the depths, but like it ended up just being a problem. I got jumped one time, and somebody popped my chain off, and all I was worried about was getting the chain. I got like smashed in the face like 6 times.
Of course, yeah.
Where I would have been fighting if I didn't have the chain on, you know what I'm saying? So like the chain's a problem, bro.
That's a problem. Yeah, seriously.
I was trying to get my chain back.
Did we get back to Sherpa being angry? I mean, when do we start figuring out Sherpa needs therapy here?
I need to get a new gold chain, I guess. Probably, right? It's a good distraction.
I stopped with gold so long ago. Like my gold phase, like, and you see, I wear this is white gold. This is actually, now if you look at my chain here, this is 18 karat yellow gold, and I dip it every 6 months. Like I'll show you later. The clasp it turns gold again, right? This is, I just made this white gold, right? It cost me a fortune.
Anybody CAC on the street, jank that chain.
Oh yeah, it's the chain isn't. It's not the
3 grand, 4 grand.
It's a godly chain. It's a godly chain.
It is a godly chain.
It is, right?
The Jesus piece.
He doesn't need it.
No, that's true. I got out of the gold a long time ago. As an Italian kid, I used to have the Italian horn. I used to have the big gold cross. I'd had a Jesus Christ head that my mother. Look at my mom. I know you listen to us. I'm still sad you lost it. I had a beautiful Jesus Christ head with did you, as Catholics, right? You got confirmed, I'm assuming?
No, I was neither Catholic.
Okay, and I
was a Baptist.
Catholic. Right. So in the Catholic religion, you get confirmed at like 16 years old or 18 years old or whatever it is, right? There's the sacraments of religion that the Catholics go through. So anyway.
And that ceremony goes, they touch you a little bit in the wiener and then pop.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what they do?
Doesn't sound like a religion.
Yeah, they fondle you, and then they give you a new name.
Slap you on the ass and say, go get it.
You have to pick a new name because
Stop that now.
Now you want to be anonymous, right? Once you've been diddled, they call it, mine's Angelo, right? So my confirmation name is Angelo. So and I got this beautiful gold Jesus Christ head. I was rocking that shit through high school. I had like the 6 chains because I'm a Mr. T era. So I had like the 6 chains that I know. Country Butterfly out there, Jennifer, all you Maggio. I know every one of you listen to it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about in high school. So I had all the gold chains on, and then one day I just woke up and I was just not into gold anymore. Like the shiny gold shit, I just wasn't into it anymore. So I went to silver, and to this day I'm still a silver guy. I love a good solid piece of silver. So are you one of those Jackson guys? Do you buy that Jackson chain?
I saw the Jackson chain. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not rocking a chain. No, it's not real.
It's not real.
I had a big shark jaw pendant. That was my pendant. Big
that's
gold
fun.
Shark jaws.
Yeah, gold, right?
Yeah, of course. I was golded out, buddy. All my buddies got the big old Fat Daddy chains,
Yeah, that's all mine.
Big
did
old
too.
Cubans,
I just never. Once I got through high school, I was done with it.
It just makes you
I'm a watch
target.
guy.
It's a target thing for me. I'm good. I don't want to be a target.
Yeah. Well, I carry, so target away. But I look at it this way. I'm a watch guy. You know my watch collection. I've got like 20 of them. I love a good watch, and it doesn't even have to be an expensive watch.
Yeah.
You give me just a good looking big face, the silver. So I love I'll buy a watch from a cruise. I have everything from a Rolex to a Cavalli. I mean, I've done them all, right? I love watches. And my wife's like, why don't you get yourself one of those Apple watches? I'm not into that. That's not.
I'm a Garmin guy. Garmin has been a game changer for me, bro.
Garmin watch?
Yeah, Garmin's good.
Yeah.
So it's the same as an Apple Watch, pretty much.
Yeah, I just like the athletic stat tracking. Like, just got all these stats that come with it. And I like seeing what I'm doing. I like checking my heart rate. Sometimes I'll think I'm dying and I'll check my heart rate and I'll be like, no, you're good, bro. You're not dying.
I was doing that. I do that for my blood pressure.
Yeah.
But I'm truly dying. I mean, how many times have you been me? I go out in the summer and I'm out there doing my shit, and all of a sudden everybody's staring at me. Oh, give them salt water. Because I'm on fucking blood pressure medicine. And then all of a sudden you go outside for 5 minutes in the heat, and it doesn't matter what I do. I do the liquid IV, I do all that shit. All of a sudden, the 2 years in a row, I ended up in the hospital for 4 days. Yeah. And it really aggravates the shit. I mean, am I not supposed to be outside? Am I not allowed to mow the lawn?
But
it
gets hot, man, out in Florida.
But
you can't rock
you see me, I'm drinking.
In the middle of the day.
I'm drinking the water. It's not like I'm trying to kill myself. I know, but it's ridiculous. One day, twice, 4 days. First was 4 days. That was 2 summers ago. And last summer I was in the hospital for 3 days. And the only thing when I get to hospital is I want my kid. I don't want to be dialysis guy. I don't want to be friends that we know. And God bless them. It's a terrible thing. And some people just can't help it, right? Yeah. But I've seen that shit. And anything, being on the machine is got to be awful. So, and that's what dehydration shit does. It fucks your kidneys up, man. Yeah. It literally, they were testing my kidneys, but they wouldn't let me go home that first one, you remember, because my kidneys weren't back to normal. They kept me. They were keeping me there for the thing to make sure that my kidneys got to a certain number. You had to be like at 40 or something like that. I'm not even sure.
I got another thing that happened to me the other day.
Good.
All right, so it was a point where I knew I was in the future. I was talking with this guy about cars, right? And I was like, he's like, "Oh, that's your car?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a Toyota. I drive a lot, so it gets good gas mileage. It's a little, it's a little beater car, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, I got the new Cadillac. It's great, it drives itself." And my mind straight went to remember when it drives itself meant that it's a nice car? It's so nice it drives itself. And it took me a second, and I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, it drives itself."
Have you ever been in one that drives itself?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
It is not. It's
I couldn't do it.
It's nerve-wracking.
I would lose my mind.
The Tesla that I told you that we took to Tampa, okay, that could not make it to Tampa. Tesla could not make it 200 miles without a charge.
Yeah.
There's something wrong fundamentally with that. I don't give a shit. This isn't an anti-Elon or anything. I respect businessmen. I love what he's done. I mean, my God, how do you not admire the richest man in the world? You're an idiot if you don't, right? So, and I'm sure there's been some shortcuts and I'm a small business guy and I've made a ton of shortcuts. But at the end of the day, the man he did what he did right. But fundamentally, if you're going to make a car that's supposed to be that cool, it needs to go 200 miles without, it was the middle of the car looks like your iPhone. And it has on the iPhone, it looks like it has the little bar, the battery bar, where it goes to red and it says 10% charge. CC and I did not make it to the Hugh Jackman concert on time because we were trying to find a place. Because when we leave,
Hugh Jackman concert?
Yeah, it's Hugh Jackman in Tampa.
Hugh Jackman concert?
Yeah, Hugh Jackman concert.
Did you
Wolverine?
Drive?
Yeah, Wolverine, bro.
Did you drive or did you let that thing drive?
Oh yeah, then that's what I say. It drove. You just
push the button and
push a button, dude. You just sit back. But it's really hairy because I was like, and CC when she drives with me.
Yeah,
I was letting it go up to the traffic, and it stopped, but it didn't feel like it was going to.
Oh,
it was like it wasn't flying.
She had
up
to lose
it.
her mind.
Oh, she's like, "You're gonna drive, bitch."
Oh yeah. Take that shit off.
She's like,
take that shit off.
Touch the brake because you're driving, right? Yeah, and it wasn't flying up to it, but it was doing a steady pace,
right.
Where it was driving itself. And I was
did it keep a safety bubble, or was it right on the car the whole time?
Remember, we got in traffic,
right?
So
but
it didn't have a choice, right?
Right, but I'm sure it drops back. No,
yeah. When it's driving, no, it's driving at a normal pace. I'm assuming, and I don't know the dynamics of it. Maybe somebody can comment, but it seems like it's got a sensor to know the speed of traffic. It must, right?
How many accidents does anybody know the stats to that?
I don't know. Yeah, right. Good question.
Yeah, get a stat of that.
Right,
you stop that very quickly.
Right. Yeah, 400 of them. Yeah,
let's sell this car.
Yeah, it was nerve wracking. It was definitely nerve wracking. Though the 2 times like we wanted to look something up tonight, he doesn't have the computer tonight.
I could have pulled up my phone, but we would have gone off on some different
Well,
tallywhack and brought it back around.
That's the fun of it, man.
We're
That's
at 1:15.
Oh, nice. All right. So let's start wrapping this up. But yeah, that is super nerve wracking having them have a car drive itself.
I just thought it was the first time in my life where I was like, oh, they're jacking a phrase or like a term that used to mean something else. We're it means something different now, and I feel old.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. You're starting to realize that you're getting old.
Yeah.
I got one last thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up. This is when you bring up the old shit. I am super tired, right? Just because we're in our 40s and 50s does not mean that we have to be like the creepy dudes. We should be, you know how all the young guys are out there and they're doing their shit on TikTok and they're hey, you want to twerk or jerk like the girls who do that stuff, which I don't even understand what any of that means. But it really aggravates me that us as older guys, I mean, I'm not 70, we're not 60s, we're not even in our 50s.
You can still twerk and jerk.
Exactly,
Come on,
bro. There's no reason.
No, don't do that.
There's no like we had a whole argument about how guys like us should not be going to the club, and that's bullshit. Because, and I'm not talking strip club. I'm talking just.
No,
club.
I mean,
yeah, I get it.
Times have just changed. Priorities have changed.
But that's a different animal.
I'm with you.
That's a different animal. You're right. Priorities and stuff for people change, right? But I'm saying if we wanted to go to the club, we should be able to go to the club.
We
should be able to go to the club.
We obviously we can, but it's just like
no, they
nowadays.
Don't want us to.
And you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
They don't want us to.
Sherpa would probably chime in here. You just don't want to because there's so many stupid people out there.
Again, that's a symptom. I'm talking about. If we want to go to the club, we should be able to go.
I know.
They don't want us at the club.
I don't want to go out
kid
there
yourself.
and then this guy Jed over here in the corner is going to do some stupid shit that's going to annoy me.
They don't want you at the club. They don't want you there.
They don't want me in the club.
I think
I'm going to rip Jed up and throw him out the door.
The key of it is, again, different story, different conversation. My conversations, they were fighting with me the other day saying how we should, you hit a certain age, you shouldn't be at the clubs. And I'm telling so I got to be sitting in the old man bar.
Are you talking about club or bar?
Clubs.
No, we should be at clubs.
You see why?
We should be at clubs.
Why?
We shouldn't be at clubs.
You guys are nuts.
Bars are different.
But then we're in the old man bar. Do we need to be at the VFW? What's the line?
Old man bar. It's a bar. We should be at clubs.
Yeah, I mean,
we guess we could go to club.
I disagree, man.
But it's weird.
There are many times you've done a bachelor party. Well, maybe not you. You've probably done a bachelor party in your later years that you guys end up at a club where you're doing
go to razzles.
But that's 18 years old. That's not even a club.
They're all.
I'm talking like
if you're doing a club when you're older, you better be spending 10 grand. You better be having the table. You better be a respectable dude.
Well, okay. So then there's that line. All right, I'll take that. I will take that. If you're going to be at the club, then you have to have money. I mean, that's kind of that kind of sucks that you have to be that guy. Yeah. But I don't think that
you don't have to be anything. I mean, the clubs are strife with old guys who don't have teeth.
I'm just a party guy.
Are they? See, I never go to clubs, so I don't know.
I'm more just a party. You know me. Like I love a good hangout party.
You're a hangout guy.
I am a hangout guy.
You don't go to bars. You don't do.
I used to, but I don't.
Yeah, we're not talking past. We're talking present.
Yeah, I'm just
But we're hangout people. We do a lot of hanging out.
But we epically hang out.
Yeah, we do. That's what I was gonna say. When we hang out hard.
We do hang out hard.
And
we so hard hang out.
Yeah, we do. And I've seen a lot of these young guys. We can out drink most of these young guys. And again, that's not. I'm not trying to be look at us, we're alcoholics. That's not what I'm saying. The young ones always act like I guess the adage is the youth is wasted on young, right? Because that's what they always say, because they're out there thinking, oh yeah, we're at the club, thumping and humping, but we're having a better time at a longer period instead of having to go through all that nonsense. But my point is that I think that if we want to be at the club, we should be able to be at the club. What do you want to say to that?
But what club do you go to?
I don't know.
Here?
Well, again, I'm not talking here like in Daytona. Are there even clubs in Daytona? Razzles, but that's a child club, I heard. I would never walk into a club that 18-year-olds.
I don't know of any good. I mean, they're all bars now. Well, anyways,
we're not going to the club.
Yeah, well, we'll do it.
You can't find us in the club.
We'll do a show with if somebody asks us to come to their club and do a show, you think we're not doing it? Fuck yeah, we are.
Happy birthday.
100%. We're doing a.
The VFW.
Oh my God, I've been like VFWs are just sad, bro.
We'd be at the club, be like B52.
My God, no, I love bingo. I used to go to bingo every Wednesday.
That's why you
at a great bar.
That's why you don't go to clubs.
Oh, we get waxed.
Bingo.
We got waxed at bingo.
You can't sell that. We should be in clubs and we're playing bingo.
I love bingo. $1,000 bingo. That's a great bingo. That's the greatest
15.
bingo in the world.
On that note.
What do you guys say, bro?
Love you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Keep watching us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, all the platforms. Leave a review. Grab a brew. Cheers.
Nice. And I'm sure he's got nothing to say.
I ain't got shit.
Yeah, he got it.
He loves you too. Subscribe.
Yeah, does he love it?
He does.
We're always on the edge with this guy. Was it funny enough for him
One time we're going to
today?
show you the production room.
Yeah, one day Sherpa will come on. And I say with that, AC out. Complete Nonsense Podcast is brought to you today by Anglo-American Optical, a 100-year-old manufacturer of high-end English eyewear, produced in the UK, distributed everywhere. Check them out for all your eyewear needs. Anglo-American Optical, Ltd.com. Also, What Do I Care Optical, an online eyeglass retailer specializing in Maui Jim, Ray-Ban, Anglo-American Optical, and many other brands. They offer the best lenses on the market. Check them out at whatdoicareoptical.com. And lastly, Blue Savage Tea, an up-and-coming apparel company that specializes in custom designs of high-quality clothing and apparel. If you can design it, you can imagine it, they can make it. Check them out, Blue Savage Tea, on Facebook, or email them any of your apparel needs. Blue Savage Tea, that's BLU, savagetea@gmail.com.